So today I'm going to show you how to take care of your leather hat. This is my leather Barmah hat, which is a squishy roo, and you can pack it away in all sorts. I did videos on this when I first started my channel, and I love it. I've been constantly using it on all my expeditions and trips and everything, and in the sun and in the rain. And I actually did a review video of this hat, and I actually did a waterproofing of this hat using Nix wax. And back in the day I didn't know, or I don't know if the product was around. It's Barmah Hat's waterproof and conditioner. My mates at Bush Gear, they've sent me this to try out on my hat and show you guys on how to do it, basically. It looks pretty simple, to be honest. So this actually waterproofs and conditions, where, you know, the Nix wax that I used before, that only waterproofed it. So this will put the goodness back into the leather, make it last longer. Because I actually met a guy on a film set. He had a Barmah hat, but it was so unrecognisable because he kept it in the dash of his van, his works van. And obviously it's like a little greenhouse with the sun, and it was fraying and all sorts. He had it for years and years, but I said to him, "Is that a Barmah hat? Have you been looking after it?" He was like, "Oh, I don't do anything with it, but it adds character." And I was like, yeah, it's like half the hat is missing. That's how much character this hat has got. So I don't want mine to get like that. I want mine to last me a lifetime. So I'm going to try this out. So what I think you do, shake it up. It's got a spray applicator. Get a bit of rag. Get your trusty bit of rag. And I'm just going to simply spray this on. I might not need my rag unless I just wipe off excess. That's soaked it up like anything. Yeah. It smells like something familiar. Spray paint. It smells like spray paint. That looks like it's putting goodness back into it, but the nice thing is it waterproofs and makes it breathable as well. So there's not too much direction on it. It just says spray it on. So I'm discovering it, but I can feel it. I've only done the top now. I can feel underneath it's getting wet, so it's really soaked into the leather, really nice. Putting all that goodness back into it, and that's what I want, because it's been hanging up in my room when I don't go out on trips, when it's in the sun and it's drying out. But in my room I've got this heater that blows air around, and I reckon that dries this leather out. Make sure you get a good layer all the way around, I guess. I think my hat is quite thirsty because it's really soaking it up. I might actually use a full bottle of this on this one hat. But that's fine, I know it needs doing. Now whenever you're using conditioner or waterproofing products on leather, it darkens the colour. So when I first bought this was a dark brown, but it was more like it was much lighter than this. But you see how the top bit, I've just treated the top bit compared to the colour of that, it is a lot darker, but then it's going to dry, isn't it? So, but expect it to darken the leather. But I quite like really dark browns, so it's cool with me. Now on the instructions it says spray it round evenly, and then take care on putting it into the rim, it says. So obviously I need to like really wipe it around the rim and stuff. It's much easier to apply than the Nix wax version, where I had to really rub it in and make sure it gets everywhere. Also that Nix wax, when I did it, I put too much on, like in one place, because it gets into all the grooves and all the things. And all the grooves there, and I had to try and pick it back out because it was just too much. And it's very hard to find a happy medium with that. Okay, I think I'm nearly about there. I can really feel this leather has really soaked this up. And something about Barmah hats or the soft kangaroo leather, so when you're out in the sunlight, say in the outback sun or Spain, the Spanish sun, the leather will actually shrink and it will really be tight on your head. But as soon as you go out in the wet and the rain, it expands and it's really floppy. But this just really preserves and looks after the leather. I am probably putting on more than I need. I just want to really make sure I'm doing a good job. Because I like this hat. And there you have it. One fully conditioned and waterproof hat. I'm going to leave this to dry overnight, and it says don't wear it until it is fully dried because it will just expand too much and keep that shape, because it's gone really soft and floppy now, really expanded because it's really soaked in. I can feel it on the underside. The leather feels really nice and well looked after. So there we go, one fully waterproofed and conditioned Barmah hat using the official Barmah hats waterproofing and conditioner of all. My good mates at Bush Gear UK sent me this. The link's down in the description if you want some. But the nice thing about it, they actually sent me two, so I can actually give one away to you guys. Now, all you have to do to get your hands on this is be a subscriber, subscribe to Expedition Jack, and comment down below. Show me your interest. Show me that you've actually got a leather hat to actually condition, or else it will just sit on a shelf and collect dust. So I need people, genuine people that actually are interested in conditioning their Barmah hat, or any leather hat for that matter. But the closing date for this would be the end of January 2019. So this is the finished form. As you can see, it makes the leather much darker than it was before. As long as you're alright with that, all good. And I can feel it's really conditioned the leather, it's much more malleable. So here's some footage of me proper testing it under the water, and it fully works. It's like water off a duck's back. So would I actually recommend this? Yes, I would fully recommend this. This actually worked much better than the Nix wax that I did in the previous waterproofing video. That did work, but it didn't last for that long. And you can just tell that this actually conditions the product as well, which the Nix wax didn't. So there you go. I hope this has helped someone out there in the world, and if you really like what I do and want to support the channel, head over to Patreon. The link's in the description, and you can support me to make all good stuff, all good content creation. It does all help, it really does. Like, I got my first Patreon on there, and it really meant a lot. It really spurred me on to actually finish the Cornwall series, and I blasted that out. So the more Patreons I get, the more it really spurs me on to create for you guys. You can comment on there and tell me what videos you would like to see as well, so you can persuade my content. And also there's extra behind the scenes exclusive stuff on there as well that I only exclusively upload to Patreon of how I make these films. So without further ado, stay good out there and stay tuned to join the expedition.